Thanks, Christina, for your inspiring talk. That was really great. I guess do I animate it? No. Okay, it's on fire now. Awesome. So, no, it's so cool. They did this for me. I really appreciate it. So my quick disclaimer, I'm a bioethicist for the Henry Jackson Foundation in the Division of AIDS at the National Institutes of Health. I'm not here in that capacity, though, so these are my own views. The government has nothing to say about this. So while there's certainly much more to explore within and beyond our own galaxy, there is, of course, much to be done to take care of our own planet Earth, as we know, especially with regard to our food choices, specifically the overconsumption of animal products. According to the editors of the World Watch Institute, the human appetite for animal flesh is a driving force behind virtually every major category of environmental damage now threatening the human future. Deforestation, erosion, fresh water scarcity, air and water pollution, climate change, biodiversity loss, social justice, the destabilization of communities, and the spread of disease. Relegated to the realm of personal choice, food is generally not considered a moral choice, but I hope you'll realize that our food choices are some of the most significant moral decisions we should be making. While the ethics of what we eat can be exceedingly complex, I will focus on the benefits of moving toward a plant-based diet. Why am I here talking about food? Like many people who find themselves dedicated to a cause, I am passionate about food simply because something profoundly personal as well as social is at stake. Growing up in the dairy state, Wisconsin, I struggled with food choices for my entire childhood. I have two parents who are diabetic, a grandmother with Alzheimer's, and a grandfather who died from his second heart attack. I've also been an athlete since elementary school, and as I worked my way through the challenges of competitive swimming at Con, my desire to reshape my diet for the sake of performance only grew. Most importantly, my philosophy training at Con pushed me to rethink what we owe each other, what we owe other sentient beings, and what we owe the planet. So first, the environment. According to the UN FAO's damning report, Livestock's Long Shadow, and a host of other reports, no other industry has a greater impact on the use of our planet and on climate change than animal agriculture. US livestock consume more than 7 times as much grain as the entire American population. According to the UN and many other organizations and scholars, animal agriculture is one of the main culprits in depleting our sources of fresh water. Our oceans, too, are victims of our industrial food practices. 76% of the world fish stocks are fully or overexploited. It can take more than 8 times as much fossil fuel to produce a calorie of meat protein as it does grain protein. 70% of previous forested land in the Amazon is occupied by pastures, and feed crops cover a large part of the remainder. Livestock waste has polluted more than 27,000 miles of rivers and contaminated groundwater in dozens of states. Nutrients in animal waste created a dead zone in the Gulf of Mexico that stretched over 7,700 square miles in the summer of 1999. This is a picture of a swine factory farm. That large black pit is a basically unregulated pit of pig shit. And finally, according to The Lancet, all new infectious diseases of human beings to emerge in the last 20 years have had an animal source. Yes, the main source of antibiotic-resistant bacteria like MRSA and pandemic disease like our modern strains of swine and avian flu, as well as the most destructive pandemic in history, the 1918 Spanish flu, this is a picture from 1918, all come from or are exacerbated by animal agriculture. Animal ethics. Our food choices are also bad for animals, no surprise. In the United States alone, we kill close to 10 billion land animals every year and countless more sea animals. Just to give you an idea of what that means, Jeffrey Teets explains in his 2006 Rolling Stone article, Boss Hog, what Smithfield Foods, America's largest pork producer, has to accomplish to slaughter just 27 million pigs annually. The logistical challenge of processing that many pigs each year is roughly equivalent to butchering and boxing the entire human populations of New York, Los Angeles, Chicago, Houston, Philadelphia, Phoenix, San Antonio, San Diego, Dallas, San Jose, Detroit, Indianapolis, Jacksonville, San Francisco, Columbus, Austin, Memphis, Baltimore, Fort Worth, Charlotte, El Paso, Milwaukee, Seattle, Boston, Denver, Louisville, Washington, D.C., Nashville, Las Vegas, Portland, Oklahoma City, and Tucson. But these animals oftentimes are not just slaughtered. Most of them spend their entire lives confined in factory farms with little to no opportunities for socialization, and mothers are routinely separated from their young, all of which can lead to severe mental stress, even psychosis. Crammed into filthy conditions for their entire lives, many food animals are chronically sick. Pigs are castrated, and chickens are debeaked without painkillers. Male chicks in the egg industry have been thrown away alive or put in wood chippers alive. Baby pigs that are not deemed profitable are thumped in industry parlance, meaning they are whacked against the cement floor until they're dead. Because line speeds are so fast, animals who are not properly stunned or killed during the initial phases of slaughter are oftentimes still conscious while they are drowned, electrocuted, and or skinned and dismembered. Imagine doing this to your family dog or cat. No major world religion requires the eating of animals. In fact, every major world religion, oftentimes very explicitly in its scripture, supports the compassionate treatment of animals, our bodies, and the planet, and subsequently a plant-based diet. There's also a long line of esteemed thinkers that promotes a plant-based diet, including, for example, Pythagoras, Peter Singer, Tolstoy, Einstein, Martha Nussbaum, the Buddha, the Prophet Muhammad, among many, many others. As many of these thinkers have argued, non-human animals have very significant capacities for pain and suffering, and can even have cognitive capacities that surpass the capacities of human children. It is therefore becoming increasingly clear that we do, in fact, have some level of moral obligation to animals. Many of you may be thinking, but humans were meant to eat meat, which is what I used to think. Or meat in moderation is good for you. I also used to think that. But as Dr. William Roberts, editor-in-chief of the American Journal of Cardiology, explains, human beings are not natural carnivores. When we kill animals to eat them, they end up killing us because their flesh, which contains cholesterol and saturated fat, was never intended for human beings. In addition, animal protein increases your body's acid load, which draws calcium from your bones to buffer that acid. And as the Egyptians knew long ago, 1/4 of what you eat keeps you alive, the other 3/4 keeps your doctor alive. So it's no surprise that, that's nice, that at the very least, 5 of our top 10 killers are significantly influenced by our food choices. There we go, so the ones in red, there may be others, but those are the clearest connections. While it is clear that heredity does play some role in disease, we have mounting evidence that eating a plant-based diet actually changes the fundamental mechanisms of disease, including gene expression. Even the fairly conservative American Dietetic Association is recognizing the significant benefits of a plant-based diet. Furthermore, several studies show that certain cancers, heart disease, diabetes, and rheumatoid arthritis, among many others, can be arrested and actually reversed, yes, reversed, by switching to a plant-based diet. Those are pictures of some of those studies. They are real. I wanted to show them to you. So a sound, whole foods, plant-based diet should focus on the 4 food groups: fruits, vegetables, grains, and legumes. With fiber, antioxidants, and many other health-promoting properties, you'll lose weight, feel lighter, your blood flow will improve, you'll get sick less often, you'll have more energy, among many other benefits. Does it sound like changing your diet is too radical? Probably, it did to me. Imagine poisoning your body with chemotherapy, taking drugs for the rest of your life, or having your chest split open for an open heart surgery. The benefits of a plant-based diet are so compelling that many celebrities are going plant-based. We've got Derek Turner from the philosophy department here. I had to put that in there. Gandhi, Paul McCartney, Einstein, John Mackey, the CEO of Whole Foods, Alicia Silverstone, Jason Mraz, Tobey Maguire, right? Brad Pitt, Anthony Kiedis from the Red Hot Chili Peppers, Shania Twain, Michael Franti. Bill Clinton has recently gone vegan and is on the path to reversing his heart disease, which is very impressive. And many athletes are also appreciating the benefits of plant-based diet, including improved immune function and overall quicker recovery. We got Prince Fielder from the Milwaukee Brewers, that's my hometown. We've got Edwin Moses and Carl Lewis, track stars, David Scott, really famous Ironman triathlete, and Scott Jurek, best ultramarathon runner in the world. Mike Tyson is now vegan, which is hilarious. It is, it's very funny. So given the time constraints, I had to cut down on the meat of my presentation. That was my brother's joke. He told me I could use it. So, I was going to say you're welcome to email me, but my email's not in there, so if you want to stop me and ask me for it, I can give it to you. But I highly recommend reading some or several of these books. The China Study, The Engine 2 Diet is a great kind of starter book to changing your diet. Skinny Bitch and Skinny Bastard are hilarious. Peter Singer's The Way We Eat is amazing. Eating Animals is also good. Food Revolution and Animal Liberation. There are many, many resources out there, so I encourage you to check them out. And don't just read one. There are a lot of nuances to this debate. So I'll leave you with a quote from George Bernard Shaw. The average age of a meat eater is 63. I am on the verge of 85 and still work as hard as ever. I have lived quite long enough and am trying to die. But I simply cannot do it. A single beef steak would finish me, but I cannot bring myself to swallow it. I am oppressed with a dread of living forever. That is the only disadvantage of vegetarianism. Thank you.